Speak. So in the 1990s I rented a large workshop with two friends. I was a woodworker and the other two were metalworkers, so obviously none of us resembled the previous business, which had installed skylights, in any way. Cue the customer of the previous business. See, I have condensed this as the verbatim conversation went on for a very long time. Arrives at my door. A real Karen. Customer, I need repairs done to the skylights you installed. Me, sorry, that business has moved and I don't know where they are now. Customer, no, I need you to send someone over now. The skylights are leaking. Me, as I said, that business has gone. We are a different company. Customer, no, right now. Repeat the above a half dozen times. About now I am realizing I am dealing with either genuine loony or else someone too entitled to listen to plain common sense. I try another tact, caveman speech, who knows it might get through. Me, skylight business gone. New business come. You talking to new business now. Understand? Okay. Customer, Me, no skylight here. Try look in fucking phone book. You bugger off now. Customer leaves in a big huff. It's all about communication, folks. Edit okay, all replies must be in caveman speak. Edit 2. Wow. This has turned out to be popular. Thanks for the gold, it was delicious. This isn't a dog daycare at all. TLDR at bottom. A while back I was working in an office that allowed dogs. It was an open floor plan and since customers never came into the office, we kept the dogs' food and water bowls right by the front door just because it was the most convenient space and no one else would see them but us who worked there. Of the 6 of us who worked in the main office area, I was the only one who didn't have a dog, no pets policy at the apartment, and always felt horribly left out. To make matters worse, across the way was a doggy daycare. One day a very frantic woman came in and she had an absolutely massive basset hound with her. Usually the only people who came into the office were associates who had appointments with someone working there, but it was rare they brought their dogs. She ran up to me and said, "Do you work here?" And I said yes. "How can I help you?" And she said, "I wasn't sure if you took walk-ins but I read online I could just drop him off." I tried to call but no answer. I didn't know what she was talking about at that point and I said, "Come again? Who did you call exactly?" Thinking if I could just saddle her off to whoever she came to see, I wouldn't have to decipher her problem. She said, "Well, it doesn't matter now. Look, something urgent has come up and I really need to leave him here. Here's his food he likes and I'll be back in a few hours." And, at this point I wasn't thinking of the doggy daycare. I thought maybe she was a friend of someone here. I said, "Well, alright, can I get your name please?" And she said her name and then asked if I needed her to sign anything and I was so confused at this point I just said, "Why would I need you to sign something?" And she left almost immediately. So I took Otis, the dog, to the back and showed him to my co-workers and no one knew the woman or dog. I was worried she wouldn't come back, but at the same time, my wish for an office dog had been granted. And Otis was supremely chill. All he did all day was lie around and drool onto his own ears. I just freshened him up every now and then, took him out every couple hours, and he was happy as a clam on a big, cushy dog bed we thankfully had an extra of. He just loved attention from anywhere he could get it. At the end of the day the woman, thank God, came back. She said, "Thanks. You're a lifesaver. How was he?" And I said he was a champ. And was about to say, "But why is he here?" when she said, "That's a relief. Most kennels say he gets anxious around other dogs. I heard you operated at a much higher capacity. I was thrilled to see you had so few clients in the room at one time. So, how much do I owe?" And that's when I realized she thought we were a dog daycare. Now, I probably should have corrected her. But I loved my day with the office dog and I did want to get paid for supervising this strange dog all day. I just threw out the number that sounded fair and appropriate. "That'll be $20. I said. She replied, "Really?" in this very high tone, and I couldn't tell if I'd overshot or undershot. But she paid me and left. My co-workers were laughing hysterically when they realized what had happened, and we thought it would just be a good story for the future. But the next week, she came back. She said we were so much more affordable and less overcrowded than her other place that she was happy to use us. I was glad for the company, so just took him. I didn't think there was any way she couldn't have at least some idea we weren't a dog daycare. The whole ordeal was so strange, I just figured don't question a good thing. I was much younger and dumber then. Not long after, Otis started getting dropped off too. Sometimes even 3 or 4 days a week. I was in heaven. He was such a love. And he made fast friends with the delivery guys and visitors. One day we took our office Christmas card photo and Otis was over that day, so we included him. In a Santa hat. It was pretty great. But it turns out Otis' owner was friends with one of our clients, who I guess happened to have the card out on her table or was kind enough to display it alongside her other holiday cards. Because one day Otis' owner came in holding the card and walked up to me and said, "I can't even believe I'm asking this, but is that my dog in this photo? This isn't a dog daycare at all. This is just an office, isn't it?" She said it with a note of surprise, as though she was looking around and putting it all together for the first time. No coincidence that this was the first time she wasn't in some crazy rush either. She was like, "Then who are all these other dogs?" And I explained. I was terrified she was going to demand her money back, or worse, take some sort of legal action against us for misrepresenting ourselves as a dog care business, or complain to corporate. Instead she basically said, "Why didn't you ever say anything?" And I explained we just really liked having Otis around. She stopped for a minute and seemed to be thinking and said, "Is that right?" And I said yes and told the story of how I was the only one in the office without a dog, so loved the company. She seemed a little flummoxed or hesitant, understandably, because the whole thing was so weird. She turned to my coworker and asked if I was telling the whole truth. I don't know why she thought my coworker, also a stranger to her, was any more trustworthy than me. But hey. Strange times. Coworker backed me up. So she said, "Well, I wish you'd said something sooner. Could have saved me a lot of embarrassment with my friend back there. Alright, I have to get going. See you at 4 p.m. And she left Otis. I couldn't believe it. I said, "So he can stay?" And she replied, "Where else could I find someone to watch him one-on-one all day for $20? And off she went. Otis stayed my office dog until his family moved away, luckily right around the same time I took a new job. With all this time sitting around doing nothing, thought it was as good a time as any to tell that story. TLDR, woman drops her dog off in our pet-friendly office, thinking it's a nearby dog daycare. It becomes a regular thing. She doesn't realize the mistake until she spots the dog in our company Christmas card. Months later. Edit. This was a while ago, corrected a couple minor misremembrances. Edit 2. Thank you so much for all the kind comments and awards. I am so happy you all could enjoy Otis as much as we did. That time I was the only white guy at an all-black wedding and the mother of the bride thought I was a waiter. This story is a little more light-hearted compared to the usual ones that get posted daily, but I like reading those too. My good friend got married last year and invited me to his wedding. I put on a nice suit on, black tie, chin shoes, all that jazz. I didn't realize I was the only white guy there until the ceremony ended. I went home and thought nothing of it. At the after party, I also didn't realize the waiters were dressed exactly like me. White shirt, black tie, chin shoes. I'm walking around and a nice older lady, who would turn out to be the mother of the bride, approached me as I passed her table. She needed an extra seat for her table. Excuse me. Can we move this chair over here? Me, yeah? Go ahead. Do you think that will inconvenience the other table? Me, I mean, that sounds like that's the other table's problem. Yes, I really said this. Alright. Are there extra chairs in the back? Me, probably. I mean, they know there is a wedding going on, so I think it'll be okay. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Me internally, that was weird. Later, I had to go to that same table to drop off my portion of the wedding purse. And that nice lady was there with her sister. Me, hello again. Her, oh hi. Great timing. Do you know when we'll be eating? Me, no, but I can't wait. Wedding food is the best, isn't it? Her, somewhat annoyed, well, with what we are paying for this, I'd imagine it would be. Me, and thank you very much for paying for it. Really, I'm so happy to be here. Her. Me, so is this where we leave the wedding gifts? Her, oh my god. I'm so sorry. Ha ha. You don't work here. Me, what? 2 seconds later, a waiter dressed like me walks by. I understand. We all had a good laugh about it.